What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a couple of quick duels for you guys to check out. The first one is going to prove once again this card should have been banned a long time ago. You guys remember this little card, Loose Independence Nightingale, and how this card is basically a conduit for FTKs, and how it got some other cards in the past like the Tyrant Neptune and Supreme King Starving Venom. Already got multiple cards banned, but that is not good enough, guys. The FTKs are still 100% possible with Loose Independent Nightingale because we obviously still have a lot of monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! That can copy monsters from the graveyard, and as long as you can get those monsters on the field turn one, you can easily FTK your opponent. You guys will see that in this duel. This is using kind of a newer engine. In the past, people would use like pendulums and stuff like that, but now we're actually going to use essentially Crusadia Guard Dragons to pull this off. We know that Crusadia Guard Dragons have a specialty for going into Saryuja Skull Dread, and since that card did not go 2-1 like it probably should have, we can abuse the heck out of that too. Anyways, let's go ahead and roll it. So it's going to look like the starting play, pretty much going to look like a standard Crusadia Guard Dragon play. Go for Magius, go for Spatha, summon your Draco, you know, get LP, all that good stuff. This is like all super standard. Summon Red Eyes Metal Darkness from the deck. This is basically just to get the Saryuja Skull Dread. Like, it's the main reason that you're doing that. You're trying to get the Saryuja Skull Dread, which obviously can allow you to fix your hand, and it can allow you to special summon monsters. Phantom of Chaos is going to be important because Phantom of Chaos is one of those cards that can banish something from the graveyard and copy the effect. So you can banish your Red Eyes, you can just activate the effect of Phantom of Chaos, which is now Red Eyes. Who cares if your Red Eyes gets banished? We don't really need that dude anyways. Plus we can summon it back from the banished pile and continue on. This is where the first deviation is going to be. So you never really see this card summoned anymore unless you're playing against, like, you know, Infernity or something like that. 100 Eyes Dragon was a monster back in the 5 these days, but it is actually a card that works with Independent Nightingale because it can copy monster effects from the graveyard, and it's actually going to be a double copy. You guys will see that a little later. But yeah, we're going to summon 100 Eyes Dragon. And now we're going to go ahead, we're going to press on for another copy of Saryuja Skull Dread, triggering our White Dragon. Okay, not bad, not bad. We're going to go for Ortho Scorpio and Darling Cobra. Usually you see people get Brilliant Fusion here. That's not what we're doing. We're actually going to go for Instant Fusion. We have to go for Instant Fusion because, well, obviously you got to get Independent Nightingale out of your extra deck at some point during this duel. So this will be the way that we do it. Instant Fusion, of course, searchable. Summons the copy of Independent Nightingale. Goes for the third copy of Saryuja Skull Dread. Why did this card not get limited? And then we're gonna go for a 1-for-1. And we're going to summon one of the Wind Witch monsters. So I believe it's actually going to be Glass Spell. Then you can use Saryuja Skull effect or Saryuja Skull Dread's effect to special summon Fusion Parasite from your hand. If you guys watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Art V, especially like when they got to the Fusion Dimension, you'll recognize like all these cards. Of course, Rin played Wind Witches in the anime, and Ruri, who was Shun's sister, she played Loose. And at some point, they pretty much all played Fusion Parasite except Selena because she already played Fusion monsters. Anyways, we are going to use the effect of Fusion Parasite. If Fusion Parasite is special summon, it basically has the built-in polymerization effect in which you can fusion summon without having to use polymerization. At the same time, it actually acts as a fusion substitute type card. So basically both of those in the same card. Does have to be fusion summon, but what that allows us to do is go straight into the Wind Witch Crystal Bell. If you ever wondered why Wind Witches have a fusion card, even though they're synchro based, just watch the anime, it'll explain that. But yeah, this card can actually copy a monster in the graveyard, and you can copy that monster's effect identical to the Supreme King Starving Venom, the card that got banned for this exact FTK. So we're basically just gonna copy that effect of Independent Nightingale, burn our opponent for 4,000 damage, just like we used to do before. And then when it comes to the 100 Eyes Dragon, what you're going to do, because you can't copy the effect of Independent Nightingale with 100 Eyes Dragon. However, what you can do is you can cheat the system, right? You can copy Phantom of Chaos, and then you can use Phantom of Chaos's effect, which you just copied, to copy the Independent Nightingale. So you do have to copy twice, but it doesn't matter because you're ending with the same result. So you're going to use 2 copies, and since these are both high-level monsters, both being level 8, they do 4,000 damage each, and, you know, 4,000 times 2. Obviously, your opponent ain't surviving that unless you're foolish and you do something dumb like play Upstart Goblin in your build. Anyway, second duel is actually going to feature Rockets taking on Nekroz. I feel like this is this is probably like an even matchup. If you ask me who's going to win this, I'd be like, this is like a coin flip, 50-50. I'd give both players essentially equal opportunity, because if Nekroz can get Unicorn on the field really early, I think that they can just shut down Rockets. However, Rockets do have a much better grind game than Nekroz. If they can get Unicorn and they can just kind of get that card off the field, make sure that Nekroz are never able to set up with that. Anyways, let's go ahead and roll it. I think that Rockets are up first. So let's see. Looks like he summoned Gateway Dragon, goes into Deliterance Dragon, and I think he's actually, he's just going for some standard guard dragon plays. I mean, we're used to seeing this, and basically everything until Red Eyes gets banned, you're going to see this in basically every deck that is dragon based. Really nice. He's going to go for, I believe he went for Boral Sword and the Borreload Furious Dragon, both in the same turn. Kind of sucks he had to blow up his own copy of Borreload Dragon. That's a hefty cost to have to pay, but he did actually pay it. During the end phase, Rocket Monsters be floating because that's what the archetype does, and his opponent is going straight for the Mega Zaborg play. Basically, he's trying to win this duel turn one. Mega Zaborg is a win condition in Nekroz. Here's the thing though. He's actually going to get trolled here, because the thing about Mega Zaborg is Mega Zaborg does have to destroy, like it has to be destroyed by a light monster. So what his opponent does is he says, no, I'm going to go for Furious Dragon. I'm going to blow up your Mega Zaborg, which means it will not be blown up by a light monster. That effect will now fizzle. So that was actually smart. Now I'm not sure that I would have given up my Furious Dragon. Maybe I would have tried to give up something else. I mean, why not just give up this card? I'm pretty sure he could have given that up or something else. But regardless, he did actually get the effect to cancel out. That was kind of smart. Anyways, looks like he's trying to go for a Trishula and Colossus play, or excuse me, Colossalus. Colossalus is just going to go ahead. It's going to take out Boral Sword's effect. Then he is going to be able to take down Colossus as well. Not bad, but he still is going to get Trishula'd, and his opponent doesn't even have to banish the Trish because Colossalus made its attack to be 0. So there's really no use of, or there's no point of really spending any actual removal on it. Now, the game looks like it has been crazy simplified at this point. He's going to simply attack into a rocket. This is where, like, if you're playing Nekroz and you don't have Unicorn on the field, I actually feel like Rockets can kind of come back because you're just kind of attacking into their monsters. Clearly, Rockets float all the time. And he's going to go for the Borreload X-Charge Dragon, which is cute. He gets a beater at least, and that's kind of nice. But the Sword Dragon is just going to die during the end phase. And, Nekroz is not known for being a great top-decking deck, at least not by today's standards. Maybe in 2015 it was. X-Charge Dragon is going to get an attack for 3,000, not bad, but he's not really in danger because he's had the Valk the entire time, so he can just Valk if his opponent ever tries to attack for game. Gets a couple of incantations on the field. Looks like he's going for Brio. He actually gives up his Brio to go for a Trishula play, and it doesn't look like it's all that bad. Now, this was questionable. His opponent is going to go for Reasoning, and, well, no, it looks like he's going to activate the Boot Sector first, get a couple of monsters. I have no idea why he did not call level 4. I mean, you're playing against Rockets. What do you think your opponent's going to summon? For the most part, almost all the Rocket monsters are level 4. I mean, level 4, and, look at all these monsters. They're all like, well, this one's not one of the new ones, but for the most part, all the monsters this guy has played throughout the duel have primarily been level 4 monsters. So I felt like he kind of whiffed right there against the Reasoning, and it actually came back to bite him. His Booster Dragon actually popped one of his opponent's monsters. Rocket Monster floated as well. Now Nekroz are basically on life support. I mean, he has Dance Princess, who can't really do anything. I mean, not really strong enough. If he attacks in the Booster Dragon and somehow can kill it, the Booster Dragon is probably just going to float in the Borreload Dragon anyways. He does actually do that. Borreload Dragon comes right back in. Now he can just steal this, or he could just, attack over it, and I feel like the game is basically over. That's, those are tough breaks, man. You trish your opponent twice in a duel, and you still end up losing. He dropped Colossus also, so, I mean, you would think that would be enough for Nekroz, but that Zaborg play really hurt him because he had the opportunity to basically just go so far for advantage, but just didn't actually end up working out. He's also just going to pop his opponent's his opponent's Unicorn. That was way too late in the game to be trying to drop Unicorn, because Unicorn is one of the best control cards for Nekroz because they'd be able to lock out these pesky link monsters, as well as other mechanics that we saw throughout the duel, such as Fusion and Exceed, but he just didn't get it on the board early enough. Anyways, let's pause for one quick second and let's go ahead and check out that FTK Loose build. Alright, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. You can see with the monster lineup, this looks like pretty much a standard Crusadia Guard Dragon build. The only, the major differences are obviously you're not running any hand traps because it's a, FTK cheese deck, so who cares about, playing hand traps. But, things like Gamma Seal, which Crusadia Guard Dragons will generally run, things like Gamma Seal and Rescue Cat, cards that can kind of turn into negations. You're just not running those, you're running the cards specifically that you are needing to pull off your FTK. Also, there's a Cyberstein in here, so shout outs for that, because Cyberstein can actually be the replacement for Fusion Parasite and your copy of Windwitch Snowbell. If you don't happen to get that combo, you can summon your Cyberstein off of your copy of Saryuja Skull Dread. You can activate the effect, and then you can just summon your Christabel that way, and basically it's the same exact thing, and you're still getting your FTK off. Magical Midfield Breaker makes a lot of sense in this build. I think Magical Midfield Breaker should pretty much be in all of these kind of FTK cheese decks. I mean, you're not playing for the long game here. You're playing to kind of win turn one, and this card is obviously really good because it makes you immune to hand traps in case you don't open up with this. So everything else is pretty much just self-explanatory. You guys know Saryuja, the Guard Dragons, all of this crap is just standard Crusadia Guard Dragon plays. But yeah, man, Konami definitely should have banned this card. This one right here should have banned this card a long time ago.